Definitely. I mean, Elige also stepped up on the I think it would have been 6th round eco in that match, but this pistol's already starting off with a bit of aggression from CLG because they've got 2 players aggressively mid now. Nitro spotted that by jumping over in mid, so he knows they're pushing. And Cutler, I'm sure, spotted it in return, but needs to check the angles as he gets around. He may not be ready for Adren, or yes, he is. What a headshot as Adren's already gone. That forces Nitro to take the peek, and Tarek is more than up to the task as he takes down both he and Flowsick. Really, really good start from CLG.
Yeah, what an aggressive play. Cutler with that one shot, and Tarek bails him out with 2 nice kills. That's a player, Tarek, who's really shown up this tournament for CLG. He's looking very polished at the moment, but huge advantage for them to find.
Lige now does try and join over with Fugly as he's found his way inside of the A site. Still a chance for a bomb plant, which at this point is their saving grace, and does he get it? He does. So now there's still a chance, if they go for the full save in the next round, to buy in the 3rd, or even force up with more aggressive armor and pistol tactics.
Yeah, they like to, and that's actually something where CLG could have been more aggressive on that bomb site, but either way, just giving up a plant, not a huge issue. That was that opening from Cutler and Tarek, that's a gutsy push in middle.
And we actually talked a lot about how Liquid like to sit back and punish teams for that. So
they
by
did
doing
the Tempo
that,
Storm.
Exactly, and by doing that in the very first round, it kind of sends a message like, all right, we know what you're going to do, no problem.
We'll still take the fights, no big deal.
When we do see rifles come out, it's going to be Tarek, Hayes, Cutler, all on the M4. JDM with the FAMAS, so secondary rifle for him, but FNS is the one. Finesse is going to be using that MP7. Elige showing off a little bit of movement mechanic skill as he gets aggressive inside A main, but he'll wait just to make sure he's not going to get flashed through. But no surprise with guns out, there's no need to risk that play. Late smoke deployed. JDM going to bounce a flash back just in case they try and pop open that door, which they have done. Flowsick trying to lurk in, and he's going to enter. Popping the flash off the doorway, tries to round the corner, but JDM's waiting, and there's a gap in the smoke that allows the first shot. That's into Flowsick as Finesse will find Adren immediately after, but it's a team kill from Elige. He actually takes down Nitro. Makes it a little bit easier for CLG.
Yeah, 2 smokes used there to try and get that plant. Weren't able to do it. Still going to go for this buy. They're going to be light on nades. Fugly does have the smoke and a flash. Adren and Elige all bought up with just the AK-47s. Nitro has 1 flash as well. So this is going to have to be, there's going to have to be some battles won. Flowsick even opting to go for the Galil just so he can get an extra smoke for his team for whatever they decide to do. But they're going to have to win some aim battles here. This is not going to just be a patient execute.
Fugly, very aggressive, but there's Cutler already coming out.
Again, aggression.
So, yep, CLG winning the aggressive battles, and the second round, or excuse me, rather the 3rd round bye, already weakened here significantly as Fugly's dropped.
Yeah, and the smart thing is, too, Cutler did it on pistol round. He pushed up mid, got the first kill, starts to fall back. Tarek was there to back him up. This time they get the first kill, and all of them knew after that first kill comes, they all fell back together. No one hung around. That was a very organized push where they know if they find something, if there's not a fight after that first kill, we just evacuate with the man advantage.
Nitro still wants to find a way into B, though. Finesse is aggressive on Catwalk, but there's no escape from that position, not quickly at least, and it won't even give him a chance to do so when Elige gets that kill. But Tarek, good repositioning as he drops out of the vent. Dropped the bomb carrier initially, but it's still Nitro. We talked about these entries from him. He's doing it again, and he's going to turn back and take down JDM as well. It's now him, very low on HP, 2 in fact, against Hazed. He has the bomb, Hazed is above, and Nitro might just play this with a bit of clever tactic, because if he can catch off Hazed, who's gone already onto the catwalk, and stab him in the back, there's a chance, but he's actually going to run now, and Hazed is going to hear that, pops out just in time for Nitro to get around the corner, and smartly so, knows that he was going to be hot on his heels and has low HP, gets into even more cover by going through Z rather than the long escape up toward the truck.
Yeah, now Hayes has got to be cautious as he rotates over to the A bomb site. So many places that Nitro could just be lurking in a corner, but he's going to come get this bomb plant. Now Hayes progresses up highway. And this is a tall task for Nitro.
No way to cross, indeed, because there's no smoke, no utility available. Nitro did everything he possibly could do in that round. 2 on the entry, 1 on the recovery once his teammate went down behind. But it still allowed Hayes to get over, and he lost so much HP in the process.
Yeah, he really did, and almost able to do it. But he does get that plant. That's pretty crucial. That's going to be nice to have. So this will allow them to have a little bit more money moving forward. And actually, no, they'll save 1 more. So that's going to be good for next round, just getting that plant. That's going to add some more utility to it. Either way, CLG hopped out to this early lead. This is going to get the op in JDM's hands, and also full utility across the board on their team. Tarek again with a double kill in a crucial moment. Much like pistol round, he drops out of vents, finds 2 kills there.
Nitro this time will be the man to throw the smoke. It's counter logic gaming. Succeed in the pistol. Answer to the task of winning the first gun round, and now have an economic advantage that forces Team Liquid back to just the Tech 9s. 3P250, Smoke going to go out in front of the doorway. So it gives Finesse some more time. Cutler's got to deal with the fact that there's a Molotov in the corner, so they were hoping he wouldn't peek in front of the forklift. That allows them to push in from A main using that single smoke on Finesse to move forward, and Fugly's actually going to find, so there's a chance here for Liquid with these pistols now as they take down JDM, but there's the response. Cutler, he's so consistent as of late with CLG. And it's Tarek that actually follows up onto Flowsick. Cutler's very low, 3 HP, as is Tarek on 6, but look at Adren, he's even less with 3, but what a shot on Tarek as he finishes him off. Again, he was on low HP. Haste is low as well, so there's still a chance, but it's not looking likely as that bomb is out of reach behind Quad.
Yeah, no, he's going to push into this site, and there's no opportunity for him to really get this bomb plant unless he can pick this one off, and he might be able to. Color's looking the wrong way. He sprays them both down. They line up for him. Adren, 3 HP. A magic clutch to have on an eco round.
And I'm not 100% sure because he stutter stepped there. It wasn't like he was walking behind Quad, and yet there was no attention given in that direction.
Who even threw a flash? And I mean, CLG just misread it. They weren't. I guess they just didn't. They didn't realize that he had moved into that position. They weren't even looking that way. They were looking over towards A main.
So now
here's the save on CLG.
Well, yeah, it's going to be a pistol the other way. We just talked about how it was Tech 9s and P250s. This time it's 5.7s and P250s. As Finesse is going to play close against the doorway. That way, as soon as it's opened, he's in position to just tear the head off of Flowsick, who's already spamming. And they are going to put one player on the boost. As Adren is going to be the man doing the heavy lifting, putting Nitro up.
Yeah, and everyone's staying far back, watching for any kind of aggression, not wanting to get caught off guard, because like you said, CLG's really kind of set the tone that they're willing to be aggressive, even though they know Liquid's passive. They have those setups that are meant to punish it, but they're still willing to take those fights.
Tarek's position as well, very forward inside B tunnels. Trying to catch them off with the pistols, get close, and then have a support system in place with both Cutler and inside the site, hazed, but it's Elige that's already come down. Tarek is successful, and what a shot on the reaction. He turns back into Elige, who was already looking to that corner, and yet he overwhelms. Cutler drops immediately on top of Nitro's head, so he just has to aim straight down, and it's an easy headshot, but Adren comes back to Cutler. Flowsick now getting FNS. It's still 2 versus 2, and no guns recovered. But for the second straight round, the Eco looking quite probable as that bomb is down in the middle of the site. Yeah,
Tarek, another 2 kills, huge, and this is kind of mirroring what Liquid Elige was able to do that in the last match that allowed them to eco against Tempo Storm. There's JDM chiming in. Hayes still over at headshot. Adren's got a lot to do. Only 18 seconds to do it, and it's not like he has a lot of time to toy with. He's got to find this kill. He's going to smoke up. Oh, what a dink. That might just spell the end of it for Adren. He's flashed back. He's very low. He does grab that kill. He's still got JDM above, but 1 HP. Can he pull out another one?
How many single-digit last man remaining positions have we seen this game? And that smoke, JDM didn't actually push through it, so it does allow Adren a little bit of timing, but Adren thinks he's in there. He's still checking. Now he realizes he's not, and a very quick glance to heaven said, uh-oh, I might be in trouble here, but he's not going to be there either. It's JDM coming in, the main connector from CT, and he's still going to win this out, so back-to-back ecos.
Yeah, just back and forth, and that's all again on Tarek. Finding that for that advanced position in the corner, they don't clear it out properly. He grabs 2, so gives his team a great opportunity. They're going to win it. It's right back in their favor. So I mean, that's just, we've seen that a couple times out of some of these teams. Even in the last match, Elevate versus Mythic, they had some trouble clearing out on their anti-ecos when they're pushing in. There's a lot of damage being done by these pistols just simply by not properly clearing your corners.
So Op's going to come out from Adren, but look at the rest of the buy.
Yeah.
Nitro does have the AK, so they're going to put faith in him to find the openings as he has been doing. But it hasn't transferred through to wins necessarily. As Fugly's on a pistol, as is Elige. Good forward position, run boost, it's failed. Cutler actually U-turns in the air and decides, we better try that again, but it's actually going to be FNS. Thinking better of it, doesn't want to stay in the open too long because that door's already opened.
Yeah, this is Flowsick door. This is a little bit of a switch-up as well. Last match, they might have seen Flowsick being so aggressive with the rifle, the AK, but it's Adren. He opens the door for Adren, and Adren's the one to do it with the AWP. Catches Hayes off guard, a little bit over peaky, not realizing that there's going to be a sniper there.
So Cutler's boosted now with the slide. Easy indication that 2 players, 1 position. You can push toward Quad more aggressively, but you have to make sure you hit that player who has the man on his shoulders coming around. That's Flowsick that's going to be in that position. So Nitro, Adren, they're grouping inside A main, and it is going to be a hit. 46 seconds, lots of time to work with, so they can be calculated about this, but the smokes are now in place. Cutler still finding the first shot. As again, he was the man boosted. Elige is going to go around the back. He's going to go for a very quick plant inside this smoke as they just want to get it down. And now he's got the Tech 9 still undetected. Tarek does find Adren. Flowsick post plant inside long, but he still has a long way to reach that bomb because it's not planted for him whatsoever.
Yeah, it's planted for Fugly, who's in mid with a P250, so they might think the pressure is going to come from A main, but Flowsick's going to try and wrap around and relocate.
Fugly needs to peek just to be sure because there are 3 players there. He does take the first who was on the defuse, and now it's up to Flowsick, and like we saw, he switched his position onto A main. Doesn't matter, he's caught. Cutler saw him coming, and it will go to CLG.
Great round from Cutler, staying alive as long as possible. He was the initial contact in that bomb site. 3 kills for him on the round, doing very, very well, being mobile inside the site during that hit, during all the chaos.
5-1, great start, CLG.
Double op setup out of CLG. Tarek picks it up as well, the secondary opper. JDM with his. Look for them to split up into the bomb sites, 1 in A, 1 in B, and have a lot of pressure. Actually, no, Tarek's going to head towards mid, so he's going to watch this boost. He's going to have a lot of priority to keep this mid control.
And interestingly as well, you usually see when you do split that other op on quad, which is so probable, but they're actually going to leave it to the rifle because they've seen so many quick smoke executions that they want to have the close quarters and leave that op in B just to get that pick inside B tunnels right away.
Even boosting Cutler up that time, they don't screw it up. Just a save round out of Team Liquid, but we've seen them.
Elige is checking it, though.
It's got to be wary. But, yeah, it's really hard to clear that position when you're so close, especially without a rifle. You're at such a big disadvantage. And Liquid, once again, they have only got 2 smokes, Adren and Flowsick. Flowsick's over towards door, so I would expect this to be, you know, later on in the round. They're passive right now. They're going to rotate over towards A with those 2 smokes to try and get another one of those plants. It really hasn't been that successful on their eco rounds, though.
Elige is so smart. He knows, first off, the Cutler's in that corner, so he's very careful. And then he all pre-aims on the hop as he anticipates someone going for a cheeky peek, which Finesse was doing. So definitely knows his opposition well here. Still clearing every possible angle because he knows it's going to be such a problem coming through with Cutler still in that position. So flash has come now. Adren's going to be the man almost showing himself, but slows it up. And their flash, Cutler is blind. They look, Elige, he's still looking for the shot. He can't do it. You called it, the pistol not going to be enough, but they definitely had the awareness. No bomb plant, though.
Yeah, that flashbang actually came from a member of CLG. It blinded Cutler just a little bit, so it didn't go deep enough for me. I almost got caught off guard for it. Either way, doing a pretty good job on that anti-eco, once again denying the bomb plant. Either way, full buy out of Liquid. We do not see an op on Adren. He just bought it a couple of rounds ago. And he's talked about he doesn't like to do it on the T side, and it was interesting that he bought it so early because, you know, in previous matches on this map, he waited until they really couldn't find any success there. He just bought it on the second gun round.
Yeah, that was more specific about the Tempo Storm game yesterday, not even this morning, that he brought it out when they were struggling a little bit early on. But Hayes forward position. Back to the white box on the opposing side of the wall, so not really spammable. Needs to be wary of the boost, but JDM, meanwhile, he's also got the op back out at B, and X-Ray
he spotted
gives
it
us
for
hope.
sure. He spotted him for sure, but now he's just going to hold the angle.
And we'll see if that angle is going to play to his favor, because Fugly, one wrong step could have major consequences. So a little game of cat and mouse, does go for the shoulder peek, but JDM switched back to look at the other doorway, so he gets away with that one. Meanwhile, though, this is the more interesting aspect, is that Hayes has worked inside of middle, and Adren has the bomb. So if this goes down, what a reaction shot from Adren. If that had gone down, there was a great chance for CLG to slow everything down and completely tear Liquid apart from within. But now they're going to push on to JDM, who misses that initial up-close shot. So Elige is through the vent. They've got the B site, and it's going to have to be a swift retake on the B site. A little bit harder to do from CLG.
Yeah, they do have a lot of utility, but this might just turn into a 3-man save right off the bat. JDM getting caught all alone in that position with the op. You miss that first shot and you're just gone, and it is going to be a save from CLG. They're already running away, so keeping these 3 guns, not even going to go for it whatsoever. Smokes in the choke points, and they got pushed back. Such a swift plant once that kill came in. And you're exactly right. It was all Adren adjusting and finding that kill in an improbable situation. Hayes not able to take him down. That could have been a turning point with the bomb dropped in mid.
Cutler does take down one pursuing player, so Elige won't get a gun from CLG. And that's the only pursuing player. They'll keep the rest because they aren't in the best position. Flow6 also recovered the op, so we'll see if they do throw that immediately to Adren. The other thing we mentioned as well yesterday is that Nitro could also pick that up if he wants to. If he calls for it, they'll give it to him.
Yeah, that was really interesting to hear, was Adren say, whenever Nitro wants it on the T side, we'll give it to him. He's got free reign to call for it, so actually, they are going to drop it over towards Adren, so he's going to be in-game leading with that. I would expect him to get boosted up and actually kind of go for some counter pressure on mid. There is an op in JDM still. He headed over towards B last round. Let's see if they keep him mobile, move him away somewhere else.
So FNS does take an op to A. JDM, FNS is on a rifle. My mistake. It's JDM with the only one this time as he heads toward B again. So default that they're going to have one there. And if he can hit that first shot, the problem is last time, as we saw, they came through vents. There was no one in mid because Hayes had gone down. So he was in a very open position. Tarek this time is pushed, and they've got a support system on him with Cutler at sandbags and Hayes, who's in a good spot to rotate up the highway, but right now leading off with a bias toward that mid position. Cutler now realizing there's shots being rattled off, and JDM might need help, is going to go to B, though.
Yeah, well, initially he's done a great job because they actually brought Adren over towards B with Fugly to combine to take that duel. That was Adren saying, I want to take this opera out. I want to eliminate him from the map. And JDM comes out on top by taking out his teammate, and now that forces Adren back. They're going to slowly creep back towards B. And JDM still here holding the angle at the moment. Even though he got punished for it last round through vents, he's not scared to come back to it.
Interesting, too, because Tarek has left mid. So you think that it would be a call in sequence to what goes on in the middle. If Tarek leaves, so does JDM, but JDM, by sticking around, this time will get the opener. It's Adren to go down a second as well as he pushes into Nitro. In the third, can he find it? No, Elige responding with the headshot from the AK, but with 2 players down, it's Elige left in a 1-on-4. Manages to recover the bomb, but more importantly, recovering the op, and that suggests to me that with 25 seconds, he's going to fight for his life to hold on to that. Yeah,
he's being hunted. Tarek's already pushed up, wrapping around through mid. So Elige holding this angle far back. They're going to find him, though. There's 3 players, FNS, Tarek, Cutler, all searching him out, and 1 shot is going to give away his position, and then he's in a lot of trouble.
And they're actually going to not only find him, but try and do it as time expires so that he's completely left with no money. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, they get him just before Tarek gets that kill. It almost would have been worth it to bait out Tarek and then have Cutler, who was behind him, pop out and get that shot as time was gone.
We've seen one match where Cloud9 did that, where they actually had the opportunity to kill him with 3 seconds left in the round, and they all pulled out their knives and just dodged bullets and waited for the time to run out. So they could have punished the economy a little bit more, but just grabbing that kill is good enough. Still with the double op setup, forced Team Liquid onto just pistols one more time. This time, they have the smokes, they have the flashes. They're going to head towards B. Not a lot of success on the eco rounds toward the A bomb site, so they're going to try something different. JDM's been a beast over here, though. That last round was wonderful by him.
He's going to be the man that's under threat again. They're lined up. But he changes his angle, so it won't be a chance for the double. The first through the smoke is going to drop the bomb yet again, but they push into him. And again, there's no support inside Checker, so it's such a tough spot to be in. And Nitro getting that kill does give up the B site. But they're swift on the retake, and that nade was very well thrown from Hayes. Good call by his teammate to let him know that Flowsick was low on HP, and bomb is down yet again. So Tarek inside the site. Good no-scope on to Nitro. He's finally gone. It leaves just a Dread.
Yeah, and that's actually, that was kind of the strat call by Liquid there. They know that JDM's been playing with that op in Checker, so they wanted to punish it. They wanted to force him to rebuy an op if they want to stick with that double op setup, get it out of his hands, force someone to rebuy the AWP, that expensive rifle. But CLG just transitions right back into 4 M4s and 1 AWP, still on JDM. He's been at B the majority. They actually haven't had him be mobile because they had 2 ops. So he's going to stick to that B bomb site.
And Liquid with only 2 rounds on their T side is not something we've seen this weekend. They've been pretty solid and, in fact, very consistent about getting bomb plants. But CLG, they have been using this aggression, and it has been working. And Liquid's default is becoming more and more impatient because we haven't seen them just wait for those pushes, and more Hayes is getting inside mid again.
Yeah, well, and there's JDM one more time. They're still challenging him for some reason. He's winning that out. This time, wisely, he falls out of checkers. He gets into the bomb site. Almost takes a couple bullets, but he gets away. This is Liquid on their T side. We saw them get stuck into a rut against Tempo Storm. They're kind of in it right now. The hero last time was Flowsick. Here they are executing.
FNS, though, is at quad. He was blind, but he bought himself some space to pick up 2. Adren back with 1, but then he's taken down. And JDM finding Fugly on the other side is the last man. So 9 rounds for CLG, and money just not even anywhere close to Liquid's
without
possession.
The bomb plants, yeah. And this is the thing. They're getting picked apart right now. JDM is just destroying them over at that B bomb site. A lot of first kills going his way. They're still trying to duel him. They've thrown a couple different looks at him, and he still wins that initial battle. So it's looking very scary for Liquid at the moment because they're not finding success anywhere. We talk about their defense on that A bomb site with Fugly and Nitro, but CLG has looked like no slouches. Their rotations, once this bomb site is under pressure, is very quick to come about, very aggressive into the site to bail their teammates out of tough spots.
JDM a lot more passive this time as well at B. And Flowsick goes back to his home at Squeaky. He's going to try to make his way through and look out clear quad, but Cutler from playing from Highway is going to find a Dren on the cross. Nitro getting back again, so Nitro still looking solid in terms of the refrag and getting those trades. But it's CLG again to just completely close out the round, and a good solid anti-eco. We're going to listen in for Liquid and see what they can possibly come up with.
Fine. 3A main, I'm going to off this guy B. Let's see our classic A hit at A while he's opping B.
You lead that, you lead that.
Rep.
Call it time.
I drop bomb, please take it. So Kyle, Veg rep at like 120.
Okay.
I'm going to post up at B just to hold for a little bit.
Give him a little bit more time if you can. He needs more time.
Well, we're going to fake, it's a fake, so it's
oh,
not
okay,
really
okay.
Okay, so Adren wants to take this fight, and they're trying to throw a fake, but there's a counter boost coming in from CLG. Cutler gets boosted up. He's just going to bide his time, and that could be dangerous when he decides to peek here. That could ruin any kind of opportunity, but it's interesting because Adren's not known to be that aggressive peak dueling opper, and he wants to do it.
They did call, though, for the drop at 120 when he goes through, so Nitro was waiting for it, but that's bombed down, and Cutler winning the duel against Nitro, who I just finished mentioning in the last round has been solid so far, and at least his accuracy even though the rounds aren't coming Liquid's way. Fugly's going to go back to grab that, but Cutler's gone. He's vanished. He's taking up another position because he's already won that initial fight. There's no reason to overstay his welcome.
And Adren wanted to take this duel at B. He said he was going to out-op JDM, but JDM playing deep in the bomb site, not even giving him a chance to get it. And FNS still on A, holding very strong. Here comes the execute. They're throwing the Molotovs, trying to force him out of position. Tarek, extremely aggressive, jumps up, finds one kill, still up there. He's going to jump up again, and that's Elige half blind, gets sprayed down. And Adren, he was over at B trying to find JDM, but nothing to do all rounds.
And it was a matter of time, wasn't it? JDM had used that position 4 straight rounds. It was a matter of time before someone said, no, I'm going to go beat him. And JDM's not stupid. He definitely was aware. So now the last 2 rounds has changed his angle to a much deeper position because he doesn't want that to happen. He wants to play against Liquid, not only in winning the exchanges, but play in the minds of them as well because, again, they designated an entire op to Adren on the T side, which we mentioned he only brings out in situations when it's needed.
Yeah, now they're hunting him down as well. So once again, they're going to wait for the time. 0 seconds. Now they need to kill him. He takes a shot and he's eliminated. No money for him. That's a huge punish. He's down at $100 while all of his teammates get that bonus, but he's starved for cash. 11-2 for CLG. This is a very strong half. No success whatsoever for Team Liquid.
Rough spot to be in. This is definitely not the 2 cash games they've already had this weekend.
Different opponent. That's what the difference is.
Oh, massively different opponent. And it's interesting to see that CLG's tactics against this passive play that we talked about at the start is working so well because Hayes now is going to get Nitro down. So another round he goes out early. Adren's going to follow up. He was the one with just the pistol. 1 HP for Cutler after all of this, but as a result, we did see FNS and Hayes come down to bail him out, and not even going to be required because the action slows down just a little bit from Liquid. Elise's still pushed up in this cubby, and he's spotted already, and not only that, he was carrying the golden ticket.
Yeah, Flowsick finally connecting the full spray. Going to pick up the AK-47, but 1 on 3, 22 HP. They know exactly where he's at. Naded even down to 18. And Tarek flanking around him, so Flowsick's kind of got it. He doesn't know this is even coming. He's just going to get caught off guard. He tries to find the head. Nice pre-aim, but there's Tarek from behind with the AWP, drops him. 12-2 now. That was a force buy for Liquid, so it's still starved for cash. They just need the rounds. And it's going to be another very similar buy, not even getting the kills when they come out.
What an improvement from CLG over the last few weeks as well. Everyone's been hyping up Cloud9, obviously with good reason, but CLG within their own domestic battle has definitely put a foot forward.
This is a CLG that looks vastly different from the one that we've seen underperform at times. They're playing much more organized, much more coordinated in smaller groups than we've seen.
So double up again, it's Tarek with one at JDM. We talked about changing things. Well, he's at the A site this time, and that looks to be where Liquid want to go as Adren lines up an initial set smoke. That's going to fall in front of Red. That'll cover off JDM's position. In fact, that's going to be the deep smoke so they can even wrap on quad and not have highway to deal with. But JDM's already going to push through that, and he whiffs on the first shot. That allows Flowsick to kill, but FNS was standing in behind him. Good refrag, though, by Adren. Second man, he needs to cover the off angle, and he does so. Nice nade as well by Adren to take down Cutler, because now the bomb's in place, and it's just Tarek that's left.
You know, you mentioned it very early on when they first brought out that double op setup, and they didn't send the op over today. They said there's been a lot of smoke executes for Liquid on this site. They don't want the op there, because it's very, very difficult for him to find those kills while so many smokes come out, and you can see it there. JDM really had nothing to do, and Tarek's going to get taken out at the end. So Liquid tack one on right at the end. It's a 12-3 half for CLG, and we brought it up. We talked about it a little bit before this started. Liquid had a struggle on their T side against Tempo Storm, and we said that CLG was going to do much better at preventing them from making that kind of a comeback.
And even though they had struggles, even against Tempo Storm, they were getting openings and getting bombs down. It was a lot of post-plant issues. Today, that didn't even happen, and again, the story for me, yes, there was trouble executing, and there was a lot of refrags that instantly came out from CLG, but it was the aggression of CLG that caught Liquid off guard, which we thought was the strong points for Liquid's default. As we look into Nitro, that was the round actually where Nitro had 3 kills, and yet they still couldn't close it out. This was the first eco with the lineup by Adren, and then the ensuing eco we had just after that where there was also a no kill. That was Cutler's boost.
Well, this was part of the thing we talked about that whole half. I mean, this JDM, he was just a beast of this B bomb site. Like they kept challenging multiple rounds, gave him a couple different looks, and he just won all of them. But I mean, those eco rounds at A that they were doing early on, you could see they were starved for cash that entire half. And it's because those ecos, they brought the smokes to try and plant in the smoke, but they just had no success doing it. They just got mowed down.
And the only round they actually did take down JDM, the first round that he went to checker, was because they won the duel at mid and were able to take over the vents and overwhelm them. That was a problem this second a couple of times because they went directly into B main and they never won mid to help with those vents, to help open up that site a lot easier.
They didn't even really put a lot of pressure on mid until towards the end of the half.
Well, that's all said and done. We can talk about that for as long as we'd like, but right now we've got to get back to the action. It's CLG on 12 and on the T side with the pistol heading toward B. Elige, though, doesn't want any of it. He's got JDM already, but Tarek does find Flowsick to even the score. Adren's position in heaven, though, could be decent as he falls forward to that flash. He'll keep his vision, but Hazed has gone close to the CT spawn and underneath. So even though there's no smoke to block Adren, they've managed to cross 2 players inside the site. Tarek, meanwhile, has found Adren, and that leaves Fugly to try and come in for the flank, but he doesn't realize the player's behind him. Finesse managed to switch back over as he wasn't spotted, so now they're down a man and looking for the retake as CLG on 12 rounds and a bomb plant already is looking pretty solid in map number 1, but we'll see what Elige can do as he tries to come back through. It's now a 2-on-1 and very low HP. Or low enough HP for FNS, I should say. Also gets a tap in on Cutler, but he has to force himself away from the bomb, and with no kit, it's just time that works against him now. Yeah,
he had to come out. He couldn't just try and stick the bomb for 10 seconds. He just had to go for those kills. So CLG there, very patient when they took that bomb site, because actually those B rushes can be hard to stop. But what Liquid did, they just threw that Molotov in the choke point and they delayed it. So they had actually all their players. They had one player flanking and they had the rest of their players lining up for a retake in the choke point, smoked off for a little bit, but they were all at that bomb site ready to go. So CLG was very patient, found a couple more kills before they tried to force that bomb down. And now, just out of desperation, we see the second round by.
He's just using the jump scout, which is the heavy weapon in this second round by. Tarek's already boosted. As well, they'll note that the vents have been blown out, and it's going to be a stack on B with the Adren very passively out toward tree, but with 3 players immediately on top of the platform. CLG are walking toward this. We'll see how Liquid choose to play it. If they don't peek too aggressively and catch them off guard deep inside the site, there's a bit of a chance. They're still going to use the utilities to cover off on CT. Let's see how CLG play this.
Push me, they just wiped me. Nice. Another one headshot. Nice, just wait. Just wait. Yes, I can't see two. I think one's going.
Wait, one vent side, I think, right?
Yeah,
no,
I think one's going vents.
Is he? I think they're both there, dude.
Vents, low.
Vent 1 HP. Like,
Y'all can boost.
Run away. Boost.
30 seconds. 30
no,
seconds.
Boost. Just come with me.
He ran away.
He ran away. He went CT, yeah.
Pretty sure he's lower.
Fuck! I wanted to just stay together, dude.
And you knew they were sacking it. Okay, well, it's okay. You did call it, I know.
You still should have won that.
Yeah, so we saw there some indecision in that 2-on-2. Conflicting
Definitely.
ideas, and it's the cool thing was they had that one player who said 30 seconds, you know, whatever decision you want, but letting him know the time left on the clock, but Tarek wanting to be aggressive, and his teammate wasn't really prepared to do that, and then that one shot he just missed towards that CT spawn choke point.
Yeah, and he was on 15 HP
Right,
as well.
one
They couldn't
bullet.
close that out on the spray initially at vents. And now look what it does to CLG. As they go to the pistols and Liquid get their 4th round. On a solid eco with that stack at B, we mentioned could be a possibility.
They did that against Tempo Storm earlier today, just earlier today, so CLG...
Oh, that first nade that went out, look at the damage already as they go for this boost. There's 2 players on red HP. In fact, 3 as JDM is the first to go down. This is just going to be a lineup kill for Adren on 2 and Nitro sliding out from White Box, picking up the 3rd.
Yeah, that nade just wiped him out, and that was another interesting thing too, because CLG had some nades to work with in that last eco round. They could have, you know, double naded some of those boxes inside the bomb site, deal some damage, try and get some kills, but weren't able to do it. They had a lot of rifles, so not a lot of Molotovs were out. That stack worked perfectly lit for Liquid, and now they've got 5, so they can start this comeback. They can build up some money. CLG, a lot of rounds to play with. No reason for them to force buy here. They're going to save 1 more.
It's going to be all rifles out for Liquid. CLG splitting up out of spawn as well, even though they're with these pistols. JDM and Finesse looking at B. JDM will go back late, though. He'll go rejoin his team on A, and they're setting up for default smokes as well. Cutler and Hazed are both way outside of long.
FNS has a Molotov and a smoke over at the B bomb site, so they're actually going to throw these smokes for A, it looks like. Send Tarek out to just deathmatch, see what he can find through the smokes. This is going to be a fake over towards B. It's pulled Flowsick off that bomb site, so it's just Elige alone. He's got a lot to work with. FNS can even Molotov him out of a position they don't want to have to deal with.
Flowsick's been smart about this, though. He gets the call late that it is going to be a flank or a fake, excuse me. So he tries to go to vents, but Cutler was waiting for that. He knew they had to come from A eventually, and now it's going to be Elige to take down Hazed. Liquid holding on despite CLG's best efforts to sell that fake, and it's JDM that remains. He may get one more on Fugly, who's caught a little bit off guard, but He's got far too many enemies near his position, so he goes down just as quick.
It was a good idea. They pulled Flosick off, and actually they even had Cutler underneath the vents who was able to eliminate him when he tried to rotate back through the vents on a quick flank. But Elige just staying alive, not overextending himself, buying time for his teammates. Very well done from him. Now we're going to see the buy out of CLG. It's a glass cannon AWP for JDM, AKs across the board. Other than that, it's still a full buy for Liquid. Molotovs and smokes, everything.
Flosick inside checkers this time. They do have a Elige inside mid as well, as Flosick alone in B does need someone to get over there quickly, so Elige will play close to vents. Adren on the highway. Tarek again, though, looking for that entry. Can't get through that smoke, so has to reconsider, and he's going to use this Molotov here to clear out the vents, just to make sure they push that second player back in B, but Elige's position is forward of it, so he'll still be in middle. As Finesse waits inside Toxic at B for the initial pick.
Yeah, Elige also repositions himself knowing there's nowhere to fall back on top of that roof. He's playing behind the smoke. This is really clever. He could catch one out, but he misses the shot through the smoke. Cutler just readjusts at the last moment, gets that kill. No trade either, and there goes Adren. Cutler doing some work. 2 opening kills for him.
Cutler looking so solid, and Elige so unfortunate that he doesn't pick up that kill. Flosick tries to catch them out because he knows they're coming, and again, the same fate he's met with. It's Hayes to take off him. As Nitro comes back around, but he's already Molotov'd and slowed. He tries to beat them in the cross before they can get that bomb plant down, and already Fugly's bailing, and I imagine Nitro might stick to just see if anyone's going to push forward against him, is very soon going to do the same.
Yeah, Cutler having himself one hell of a match right now. Those 2 openings. And that was the thing. Liquid at times this tournament and early on in today, they've done very well with trading. That time, Adren and Elige just not synced up properly. So Elige falls, and a couple seconds later, it's Adren who goes for the peak to try and equalize, but he gets punished for it. So CLG with their own passive start now, still hunting these players down, not wanting to give up an inch to Liquid, not wanting to keep any weapon. They know where Nitro is, waiting for some more teammates to come towards the door. There's Fugly with one, but FNS trades it off. Now they know he's boosted, but he's surrounded. He's got nowhere to go. He's going to keep trying to fall back, pick up an AK-47, but JDM, oh, he has the op. He doesn't want to lose that, so he stays passive. So they do save one weapon. That's Fugly with the AK-47. We saw what damage Flosick could do with it when everyone was saving around him. He had that one. That's the round he got the ace against Tempo Storm earlier. But they're going to buy up. So Adren, he's going back to the AWP, much like he did in the first half.
And it's a buy for everything right now because it's 14 for CLG. They don't pick this up. It'll be forced with whatever dollars and dimes they have to face the match point. So Tarek, who leads the way right now for CLG, is going to lead the charge in toward A main. But if you just pointed out inside the minimap, we've also got Elige and Fugly aggressive right now for Liquid in mid. As we show them in this boost, this counter boost from Elige is going to catch off Hazed.
Yeah, doing their own, giving it right back to CLG, falling away as well afterwards. They have a 5-on-4. That's a good advantage to find in this crucial round. No ability to punish. Now they just give up mid completely. Fugly's fallen all the way back. Elige has dropped out of vents into checkers to support Flosick.
Cutler's going to go for this boost, but there's still company in mid. It's Fugly way back towards Z. He'd still be able to spot this as he goes more passive. Again, turtling up, making sure they don't give away the advantage they've built for themselves. Cutler's going to be the one to look for it. JDM, what can he do with the op as he looks at, hey, they want to split from highway, and the smoke on Z now takes Fugly out of the play, so he's rotated to truck, which means they will have the access point, but they're also going to have the manpower from Liquid side to try and slow this down. And Nitro, time to shine, buddy. You're so good in this site. We've talked up their defense here. He's got to do it again. Looks out for the first. Bombs down. Adren, he's got the first shot, and now it is Nitro. That's exactly what he needs to do. Plays it so well in behind that red container, and it leaves JDM search for what damage he can do. Catching a nade and a flashbang in the eyes will allow Nitro to collect the hat trick.
Yeah, all 3 for him. Well done. That was actually pretty cool what CLG did. I thought they boosted up Cutler just to cover FNS to help him get out, and then he fell back towards the A hit. So just some teamwork to get a teammate in position for what they wanted to do at the end. But again, starting that round 4-on-5 due to the reverse boost from Liquid, they're showing their own CT aggression now to give themselves some advantages, and they have the double op setup. Adren and Nitro both pick one up. Nitro's going to take that over towards the A bomb site. Adren in mid as well. And this is actually, this might allow CLG to get a plant. Such a passive defense over at A. Nitro at the truck with the op. He's going to get, nope, he's not going to get smoked off because they don't have any. They're just going to go out. He misses the shot. Now they can cross in. Fugly's got to try and stop him. He does get the bomb down. That's huge. And there's Nitro. One more kill for him, and Adren even chiming in now.
Yeah, to save Nitro as well because they were getting a lot closer to him. And he was low HP, had to switch to that pistol. Bomb goes down for CLG, though. That's a bit of a win. And now it's Elige to close out on the last remaining players. So the defuse will come in. And such an interesting change in strategy. You take a Nitro who plays so well with that rifle off the A just so you can stack the other side of the site and give him an op to play passive.
Right, well, we've talked about that double op setup on this map can be very effective. So thinking that's going to be a better answer to help him get back into this. It's an expensive setup to have. But either way, just so passive over there on that eco run that it allows the plant to come through. Even despite all the kills going there, they had some success entering that bomb, so they got 3 quick kills before the bomb entered in. They just couldn't stop it.
To me, it's still very interesting to see that op at truck being a default. Usually it's the rotation out of mid that gets there and gets the op there when there's already someone in A. So, again, like you say, just giving up so much space.
Going for a boost now this round. Nitro's going to run boost Fugly up. Successful, so that'll allow Nitro to be a little bit more mobile, a little bit more, he can be aggressive other portions of the map if he chooses to with that op because he has that support up top. But he's just going to grab the angle. FNS, meanwhile, over towards the B bomb site, see if he can grab any pushes.
And it's CLG taking a page from Liquid as they patiently look for the first pick. Cutler has been boosted, but he does have a Dren. And if he doesn't find this initial shot and establish a mid presence to work through the vents, it'll make things harder at B. But there are 4 players grouping right now from CLG, and it's Flosick who does, with the power of Elige beside him, take down the first player, as JDM is the one to drop, but it's hazed on the response, and now it's just Elige inside the site. The rotation coming from a Dren, but it needs to be swift. Good smoke from Elige as well to buy himself some space, and also change his angle, and a Dren through the garage has managed to pick up Finesse, so some stylish play from him. As Fugly gets erased from mid, this will allow Cutler to try and scramble the defense a little bit as he can play from the mid and divide them up, and the bomb's actually rotating back, so they've got some space and some time to work with.
Yeah, Dren's going to push up here. He's going to clear the corner. He is. Cutler gets a couple shots off, but can't land him. Here's the op from Nitro, still at truck. See if he can do anything. He's going to molly off the plant. Try and delay, try and let the rotations come in. That's a nice Molotov. That lands perfectly for him, so no bomb plant quite yet for CLG. Tarek's going to run right into it. He's burning. He doesn't realize that he's still blind, down to 45 HP, but the time was low, so he does get it down. One's coming on top of Hayes. Tarek bails him out. Now there's a little bit of promise.
And there is promise indeed as Tarek picking up 2. Tarek picking up the hat trick, so never mind the fire and the flames. Hold that bomb plant, extend the round, and put themselves on match point. What a recovery. Again, just by Cutler getting in mid, how much that changed the round.
Yeah, and Tarek, what a beast round there. Gets the bomb planted, covers his teammate, someone dropping down for balcony overneath him, and then finding 2 one-on-ones as Team Liquid enters the bomb site. Once again, this is not the good trades that we've seen out of Liquid earlier on. CLG's finding the good battles.
So there is going to be op for JDM against that of a Dren with the Tech 9 for Finesse, but again, Counter Logic Gaming have so much time to work with in this as they've got 7 match points. And they'll stay passive again. Bombs dropped intentionally inside Big Garage right now. Finesse, as we can see, wants to get aggressive toward these B tunnels, at least check out what's going on from Elige, who's pushed up just a little bit using his own smoke as cover to try and hopefully make them pay the price if they wanted to push through it by being close, and hopefully the flash would go beyond. As a Dren's going to fall from mid, and now they've got a 3-stack on A.
Yeah, Cutler's been doing very good in middle with this kind of a presence. You just saw last round, able to creep into position. Wasn't able to get the kill, but he's finding good positioning there. Now Hayes in the vents. They have complete mid control. There's no eyes on this from Liquid, and Elige is forced to fall back into the bomb site. That's 2 players in the site, but here comes the execution onto this B site. Here are the Molotovs. They're going to get forced out of position. Liquid, or Flosick's got to take this battle.
That was a Dren that rotated out of mid very early without much read on that, so it's good that Liquid's managed to slow this down. They still have 3 on A. They still haven't rotated it out, so they're putting a lot of faith in Liquid here, or hoping that maybe because they've slowed them down, they'll eventually go back to the other remaining players. And thankfully, Flosick's done the task with Elige because he's picked up 2, and just those 2 solo players have shut this down. And Liquid don't have to play the retake game. They could just close it out directly as a Dren now finding Cutler, JDM. Yeah, I think we all know what he's up to. Keep this AWP for the next round, as there is only 3 seconds and no one definitely close enough to make him drop that weapon.
Yeah, stalwart defense on that B bomb site. Those 2 players managed that very well, keeping their composure. There was a lot of pressure put on from CLG, and like you said, there was no rotation from Liquid for quite some time, so even though there was a full dedication, they were taking fire, and both those players step up to the task. Now here's the thing. With that, they had 7 match points, CLG, once they got to 15. One of the ways they could have won it because, or they can still win it, is Liquid was low on economy. They can grind the economy out, force it to a situation where the defense is buying up those FAMASs, not able to get all the smokes and Molotovs they would have liked. That round, they did not do any damage to the economy. They didn't force any rebuys out of Liquid, so now they can stabilize a little bit better and be a little bit more confident going forward that they'll have the utility they need.
Cutler's already at Squeaky. JDM wants to join. They do have 2 players to deal with when they enter into this A site. It's Fugly and Nitro. Such a lethal combination, but it's a Dren who gets caught early. He had the op from the last round. It's JDM with the only weapon. We saw him save that, who takes full advantage of it.
Yeah, and Liquid actually did that same trick in the first half when they had Dren surprise bot in AWP. They had someone open it and he just posted. And Dren gets caught by the trick that he had just used earlier in this match.
But here we go again, Nitro. He knows how to dance within these smokes. He's seen every possible situation, but they aren't going to go through them. They've just placed them, and Nitro's getting a little bit antsy, wondering why. Why are they not showing up at this point? And it's because they're leaving A. In fact, the bomb, okay, I take it back. They let off of A, but now it will come. And as it comes now, there is no smoke. So it actually makes things a bit more difficult for CLG, and it allows Fugly to find that first kill. Flow6 shut down again from that op. From the door all the way to the highway, but Nitro dinked up, managing to still get the first kill. Has problems, though, because low on HP, Cutler can get in behind, and now JDM, this one weapon that they saved from the last round, could be enough to completely conclude this first map. And Elige, with his back exposed, has to turn to dodge the flash, and he runs out of ammo. Cutler gets picked up a free kill on that one.
Yeah,